Do you know what the difference between manifesting from love and manifesting from lack truly is? And if you do you know why the difference actually makes such a difference as far as your process goes? Because I can assure you, it really does make a difference. And in today's video, I want to explain that difference, and I want to explain what you can do to shift away from manifesting from lack, desperation, fear, doubt, yada, 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 onto manifesting from love, abundance, joy, peace, and fulfillment. Because I can assure you, as someone who has manifested plenty of things involving plenty of people, as well as helped plenty of people manifest their plenty of people, coming from love is where it is at. Coming from love is where you get the results and keep them. Manifesting from lack may get you some results here and there, but let's be honest, you also then run the risk of losing it, as I will explain in this video. So if you feel like you need a little shift into your process that will help you finally manifest, the foolproof way to manifest, this is the video for you, and stick it out to the end so you don't miss anything that could change your life. But before we do get into that, if you could drop me a like and a comment on this video just to help it on the algorithm, it's completely free for you and I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't already, be sure to click that bell icon. And if you need any help from me, whether that's one-to-one services, self-study worksheets, exclusive content, courses, and more, down below in the comment section and the description are the links to my website, where I offer all of that at such affordable prices. So once you've watched this video all the way through, go over there and check it out and see what fits your needs. But thank you so much for your time. Now into this video. Now I know there's a lot of content out there that states you can manifest from lack, you can manifest through doubts, you can manifest through fears. And while there are nuances that definitely allow that, I'm gonna hold my hands up right now and say most of mine and the people's success that I've worked with comes from love, comes from abundance, comes from a good place to be. So while I can sit here and say I have manifested through doubt and fear and seen other people do the same, it's not consistent and it's definitely not enjoyable. So I'm not even going to entertain that idea, and I'm going to tell you, bin that shit right now. Instead, let's get you consistent success. Let's get you enjoyable success. Let's get you the kind of success that you sit back and go, thank God I did it that way. Because I've manifested my person back many years ago now, and we're in an amazing relationship. We have a kid together, we're doing incredibly well, and it's only getting better. I want that for you, so I'm going to tell you how I do it for you. But what even is the difference between manifesting from love and manifesting from lack? Well, let me give you a little verbal example, and hopefully you can tell the difference. Manifesting from lack. I don't want to see them with anybody else. I don't want to live a life without them. I can't imagine a life without them. Manifesting from love and abundance. I see such an amazing future ahead of us together. We're so strong when we're together. I know that we have so much value that we bring to each other. Now, what do you think makes those two things different? Can you even tell the difference? The first one, the former, is focused on the lack of it or the fear around it. I don't want to see them with someone else. So it's the idea of them going to someone else. I can't imagine a life without them, which again is focusing on the potentials of a life without them. Now this sounds okay. You know, when you think about it, like I can't imagine a life without them. That's something people say all the time in loving relationships. But when it's from a manifestation perspective, when it's the fuel that drives our manifestation, you run the risk of that kind of attitude breeding itself into not having and fear. The latter, I see an amazing future ahead of us. We bring value to each other, things like that. It's all focusing on the abundance of the relationship existing. Amazing future. Bringing value to each other, and so on. The nuances, the vibe, the energy around the two different ways of approaching it is drastically different. One is avoiding the pain of not having them. The other is pursuing the joy of having them. Now, where focus goes, energy flows. So if one is trying to avoid pain, Your focus, and this is why they're different, the focus is that of pain and trying to avoid it. Now, Murphy's Law states that the things that we fear, we will typically come to pass. If you're fearing this outcome, if you're trying to avoid it, you're showing your subconscious mind, this thing is real and thus something I need to avoid. Now, if it's real as something you need to avoid, your subconscious mind makes it happen because you get more of what you are, not what you want. So you end up creating more of that fear. You may, of course, get a result because, like I said, you can still manifest through doubts and fears under certain nuances, but the journey's not fun because you're in a constant state of panic. The results typically come in, iffy waves, not often very much consistency. And if you do get it, because you're typically sat in a state of fear, you typically tend to lose it afterwards. Now, of course, this is not for all cases. I do understand that. So before you get down in the comments and typing, well, I manifested through fear and I've still got my person, I know that it works under certain nuances. But we want consistency. So why is coming from love more consistent? Well, focusing on an amazing future together, focusing on the value that you two bring to each other, focusing on the abundance of being together, the pursuit of the joy of being with them. Your focus is that of being with them. Your focus is that of the fulfillment. Your focus isn't trying to avoid some kind of negative outcome. Instead, it's trying to create some positive outcome. Now, a focus on a positive outcome will always create better for you than focus on trying to avoid a negative one. This is why it's not recommended to focus on the lack of having. If your person's not showing up great for you, no one says focus on that, reaffirm it, because that's not what you want to do. Instead, they say turn away from what doesn't serve you to instead focus on what does. So with your manifestation process, if you want it to be successful, if you want it to be as fulfilling as possible, take a personal inventory. What kind of stories are you telling yourself around you, around them, around the relationship or relationships as a whole? And ask yourself, are they coming from abundance and love, or are they coming from fear and trying to avoid it? Are you trying to get them because you cannot stand the idea of them being with someone else? Or are you trying to get them because you love to be with them? Are you trying to manifest them because it's unfamiliar that they're away and you're desperately trying to cling on to the familiarity? Or are you manifesting them because there's genuinely something special? When you're manifesting, are you trying to control and dictate each and every thought? Or are you trying to sit in a space of it's already done and staying calm and relaxed? Because, and this is unanimous across the people that I've worked with and myself when I find myself to be desperate, when you're trying to control each and every detail, it's because you are not in a state of abundance. You're in a state of lack and you're trying to dictate every little thing to get it to piece to where you want it to be under a term of forcing it into place. So this is a lot of the reason why people say detachment and letting go and set it and forget it are all really great ways to manifest, because each of those in and of themselves nullifies the desperate manifestation, the obsessive manifestation process, and allows you to step into more of an abundance, or at least step back, relaxed place. So if you want to guarantee that you manifest your person, if you want to ensure that the journey's good, getting them actually happens, but also retaining them happens as well, you need to come from love and not lack. Now, it is okay to have lack moments. You are human. You will never, under any circumstance, be 100% okay. I get negative comments every now and then, which means I'm not 100% sat in the space of being a perfect manifestation coach. Katie and I have little tiffs every now and then, so I'm clearly not in 100% state of us being perfectly happy. Every now and then I'll have the odd month that financially is a little bit worse than the past few, which means from finances, I'm not 100% in the end state of abundance. It happens. You are human. You will never, ever be in a perfect state. But what you can be is aware of your state and ensure you're doing the best you can to guide it back to that abundant state. So while manifesting, sit with yourself. Ask yourself, what is the fuel behind your process? Are you manifesting because you can't imagine a life without them and you're scared of that? You're going back to familiarity, you're going back to comfort, things like that. Or do you genuinely see something special in them? Do you genuinely see something amazing for the two of you? If it's the former, take a step back and reevaluate your reasons for manifesting and reevaluate what's actually the best option for you. Because if you are manifesting them through comfort, for example, step into the uncomfortable. See what else is out there. See what's better for you in that moment. If you're manifesting from a genuine space of, yep, they're the one, they're special, great. Now let's go on to the next layer. They're special. You understand that your fuel is that of positivity, abundance, love, unconditional love, and so on. But how's your approach? Your fuel may be great, but are you directing that fuel in the right way? What kinds of techniques are you doing? What kinds of stories are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself things like, they can't eat and sleep without me? They're obsessed with me. They couldn't live without me. They're not happy without me, those kinds of things. Or are you, we're in a loving, committed relationship. We feel safe and secure in our relationship. We have an amazing future ahead of us filled with new and amazing memories. Where is your approach? When they come to mind, do you run from those thoughts? Do you fear those thoughts? Or do you invest them into more positive things? If you can understand the fuel behind why you're approaching this person and either make necessary adjustments if necessary or stay focused on it if you're in a good space, then look at your approach. Are you approaching from lack, fear, doubt, anguish, desperation, fear of the unfamiliar? Or are you manifesting from abundance, love, joy, and peace? If it's the latter on both of those, then you are doing amazing. Keep it up. Tighten up your process when necessary, because we can always look to see if we could do better, so to speak. If it's the former, reevaluate why you're approaching this person if your fuel is in the wrong space. And if your fuel's in the right space, but your approach is in the wrong space, reevaluate how you could approach instead. Why are you coming from such a desperate, needy space? How can we get you coming from such an abundant space? And the way I recommend you do so is when you notice yourself coming from that need, lack, obsession, and so on, literally just stop, take a deep breath, or a few if you've got the time, because your ego is very much in control if you're coming from lack and obsession and so on. So take a deep breath, calm the body and mind, get yourself back into a neutral playing field, and then consider, if I was coming from unconditional love, let's say I was in a relationship with them right now and everything was amazing, how would I think about it then? Well, instead of saying they can't eat and sleep without me, I would say they love to spend their time with me. Or they love my company. Or they love being in a relationship with me. Or, you know what? I'm in a loving relationship with them. And you tell yourself that a few times until you feel satisfied. Then you go on with your day, rinse and repeat when necessary. And what this is going to do is it's going to help build up the new building blocks toward an abundant process and break down the habit of going back to that negative lack-based process. If you can do this, you manifest just like I do, you get the relationship just like I did, keep the person just like I did, kids and everything just like I did if that's what you want, and just stop it out. You stop yourself from losing out on it, as many others that you have seen online have done in the past. So that is my approach. I know, like I said at the beginning, I know there are coaches that say that you can manifest through lack and so on. You can, assuming even then that the lack state is not the dominant state. If, for example, you spend 2 hours in a constant state of panic, but 5 hours living from the end, the living from the end is still dominant. So even though there's a lot of panic, the dominancy is still that of the end result and therefore will manifest. But the nuance to that you definitely need to keep into consideration is when you get your desire, chances are you won't then continue to do the manifestation work, which means your living in the end will drop to next to nothing. But chances are, because you never resolved the panic stays at 2 hours. therefore becoming that dominant state. And of course, we get what we are, so you get things to panic about, which creates lack, which then creates an outcome of not having. So that is why I will never recommend you stay in a lack-based mindset trying to manifest. It sucks, it's not as successful, and it often leads to losing it again in the end anyway. So pull up your big boy and girl pants, focus on abundance, remove lack, manifest from unconditional love, not trying to get something from them so they can finally feel something in you. Now, I really hope this video has helped. If it has, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. If you need any help from me, whether it's me looking into your situation and giving you ideas, tools, tricks, and all that good stuff to get you to succeed, self-study worksheets where I have all my knowledge imparted on these worksheets that ask you the questions to give you the answers you need, exclusive content such as Katie talking about her experiences, a 10-minute call with me each month, free Manifest For You days where I manifest for you on my behalf or on my side, or the full Manifest Your Specific Person course. Check out the website, which is down below. And maybe there's something there for you that will really change your life. Now, thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.